Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. And we're continuing here at Cookstown. And where we are actually is Killymoon Castle. And you can see the deer ornaments there in the garden. And also a wee outhouse, which looks like it was originally a church, because I can see a church bell there. But whether it was or not, I am not sure. But you can see the cannons here, lying in the grass, which are fantastic. As you can see. And you get a good view here of the river. And I think that's the Ballinderry River, if I remember rightly. But you certainly get a good view here of the countryside, don't you? Absolutely brilliant. And there's another deer there. But this is the castle. And it's quite a building, as I'm sure you'll agree. It's fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And I didn't know about this castle until today. It was my good friend Henry out of Cookstown, Elam, that actually told me about this castle. And the original castle was built actually in 1671 by James Stewart. And if you remember, when I was in the old graveyard at Cookstown, there was the mausoleum of the Stewart family. So the Stewart family had actually lived here. James Stewart and his descendants who lived here are actually buried in the old graveyard, the Derry Lauren graveyard in Cookstown. And that's a very impressive window, isn't it? Along with the battlements. Brilliant. And that's some doorway, isn't it? Fantastic. You've got the lions. I hope they're not hungry. And the dogs as well. You can see the dogs there. And that's some doorway. You don't really appreciate the size of that doorway just standing here, but when you're literally here at it, it's definitely some doorway. There's no doubt about it. And there's the deer. And so you see a good bit of the country here as well. And the windows of the castle are fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. You can see some of the old, I don't know if you can see in there for the chandelier. But you can also get a tour of this castle, but you have to book it. So I hope to do that at some stage, because that would be fantastic. And there's another lamb. So this is amazing, isn't it? This is fantastic. And so, as I say, the original castle was actually built by James Stewart in 1671. Now, the Stewarts were the Stewarts' ancestors had come from Scotland during the plantation to settle in Cookstown. This is amazing, so it is. I didn't even know this was in Cookstown. And then in 1666, James bought the lease for the castle from Alan Cook. And Alan Cook was actually the founder of Cookstown. Quite amazing. And the castle was actually destroyed by fire in 1801. And in 1802, Colonel William Stewart, he had a new, more imposing castle built, which is this one here. And it certainly is, there's no doubt about it. And this was actually designed by John Nash, the famous London architect who actually designed Buckingham Palace. So there you are, the same designer of this here. And also of the new parish church in 1822, actually designed Buckingham Palace. And that was the famous London architect John Nash. And the scenery here is fantastic. This castle's absolutely brilliant. And it's tucked away here. You wouldn't even know it's here. You've actually to come through the golf course to get to this castle. But it is private ground, so before you come, make sure you have permission. And as I say, you can get a tour of the castle. You can see the countryside there. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there's the sheep in the fields. That's a great wee pond, isn't it? Although I don't think there's any water in it. Pretty amazing, this castle, there's no doubt about it. And it was great to be able to find the Stuart's mausoleum. I didn't even know the crypt was there. I just came across it by accident. And you can see the lions, and he's roaring. He looks like he's hungry, that one. You can see his ribs there. He has a net in a wee way. And there's the dog. I hope there's no dogs running about here. And you can see the countryside there. There's the wee lambs running. Amazing countryside here. It would remind you of Scarva House. So it would. Brilliant. Must be amazing to live in this. You can see the moon there as well. It's definitely a clear day, there's no doubt about it, it's brilliant. There's a bell there. And the tower. So pretty amazing. And this castle was actually described in the Irish Penny Journal of 1841, and here's what it said: as it was described as one of the most aristocratic residences in the province of Ulster. And they've definitely got that right, haven't they? There's no doubt about it. And I was looking at some of the pictures, the photos, and inside looks amazing. So I will definitely have to get the tour. So I will. There's all the sheep. The sheep's wondering what I'm doing here. So they are. So I will definitely have to get the tour. The countryside is fantastic here. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? That is amazing. So pretty amazing. I'd better close this wee gate. The wee cannons are brilliant. So they are. There's the deer. The wee kennels are fantastic, aren't they? They're brilliant. And again, look at that there for a few. Brilliant. And so in the next wee video, I'm going to talk about the connection here with Killymoon Castle and the US Army. Because believe it or believe it not, but there actually is a connection here with Killymoon Castle and the US Army. So join me for that one. God bless.